Hey, good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Wednesday. It is the 14th day of June 2023. I hope you are safe and healthy today. And I hope your family is safe and healthy. And that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field who, along with the first responders, are out here every day saving lives. And those that pick up garbage for us to keep our streets and sidewalks and parks clean and disease free. And those that make deliveries humbly for our convenience. Double blessings upon the men and women that are out here doing the heroic work of rescuing teenagers and children from the clutches of child molestation and pedophilia, and helping others from the clutches of prostitution and child prostitution, human trafficking and sex slavery, pornography and child pornography. Double curses on the perpetrators of all of these nasty things. Double curses on those who profit from these things, and double curses on the perverts who create the demand of which other perverts provide the supply. Finally, double blessings on the homeless, nearly 600,000 men, women, and children, homeless in the United States, mostly children, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. Today, I've been talking about R.J. Barrett as a strong possible trade bait for the Knicks because, of course, last year the Knicks offered R.J. Barrett with Obi Toppin and 3 number ones for Donovan Mitchell. I put that in the description box when I mentioned this before, that R.J. would, based on the history, R.J. is more likely to be traded than Julius Randle. But there is a possibility that the Knicks could trade Julius Randle. And by the way, I need y'all to understand something. There's a 9-man rotation for the Knicks. Some of y'all have fantasies of that expanding to 10. I hope that fantasy comes true, but for most of Tom Thibodeau's career, whine about him if you want. Some of you do it daily. He's a 9-man rotation guy, okay? So that being the case, when we're talking about any player coming to New York, you must also talk about what player is going to be subtracted from the 9-man rotation. Okay? You can't use Jericho Sims and Deuce McBride because they're not in the 9-man rotation. I'm hoping they go into the 9-man rotation, but as of now, they're not part of the 9-man rotation. So you're talking about the starters, which is Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, R.J. Barrett, Quentin Grimes, Jalen Brunson. You're talking about the bench, which is Isaiah Hartenstein, Josh Hart, Obi Toppin, and Emmanuel Quickley. So whoever comes to the Knicks, you must subtract a guy from this rotation. So people talking about, for example, Dante DiVincenzo, nice player. But what nobody's talking about is who's leaving. Where is Dante going to play? Just because he's on Villanova doesn't mean he just plays anywhere. He's not going to start. So where is he going to play? Okay? In the 9-man rotation. So and that's, again, I'm not suggesting they do or don't get him, but what I am suggesting is you must understand somebody must leave. Now, let me first talk to you about the players I consider, for various reasons, untouchable this summer. This summer, they're untouchable. Some of y'all don't understand that concept. I don't care. So most of you do. 80 to 90% of you get it. There's about 10% of you that are woo, but that's okay. There are certain players for different reasons that are untouchable. Jalen Brunson, for example, because he is the leader of the team. He is not the All-NBA guy. He should have been, but he is the brains, the leader, the straw that stirs the pot. He's not going anywhere. The Knicks committed to him. He's their point guard for the next 3 years. Done. Okay, so that's off the table. Grimes is off the table because Grimes is young. First of all, they pulled the plug on negotiations with Utah based on Grimes. To me, Grimes is a future all-star. He's got a future 50, 40, 90 guy, and he's already an elite defender. You're not giving up a guy in his 3rd year of his rookie deal that good, okay? So he's off the table. Mitchell Robinson is off the table because you're not going to you just signed him to a 4-year, $60 million deal, and you're not going to get the value at the 5 for that price from anybody. There's nobody in the NBA that can give you the value Mitchell Robinson gives you and what you have left on his deal, 40-something million, between 40 and 45 million is what's left on his contract for the next 3 years. You're not going to get top offensive rebounding and defensive talent for that price. So he's off the table. And either he's going to be your starting at the 5 or on your bench at the 5. But either way, he's in the rotation and he's not being moved. So Brunson, Grimes, and Mitchell from the starting 5 are not being moved this summer. You can forget Josh Hart being moved. The Knicks gave up their 2023 number 1 pick to obtain Josh Hart. Just based on that, they're going to get their money's worth. Okay? So they're going to re-sign him. He's coming back to New York. That guy is going to be back. That leaves, from the starting unit, RJ and Julius Randle that could be traded. From the bench unit, that leaves Obi, IQ, and of course, Isaiah Hartenstein. So those are the players you're looking at. Now, the big commodities of those guys, of course, are RJ, Julius, Obi, and IQ. Those are your big commodities as far as trade bait that the Knicks have. Now, we've been talking about RJ. As I mentioned, many of you want to ignore the fact that they offered RJ with Obi and 3 number 1s to Utah last year. They pulled the plug when Utah insisted on Quentin Grimes. And again, if you don't understand how important he is to the Knicks, I can't explain it to you anymore. But that's why the Knicks, and it was all documented in Shams and Ian Begley as well as Wojnarowski. They pulled the plug because they weren't going to send Quentin Grimes out there for Donovan Mitchell. That's how important he is. So, what do we have? Well, we talked about RJ most of the week because to me he's the logical one for especially for Mikal Bridges. The RJ IQ with picks for Mikal is the best deal the Knicks would get, and without hurting themselves. In that scenario, they would get back Mikal Bridges. And in that scenario, they could use their mid-level exception and sign a Dante DiVincenzo to round out your 9-man rotation. See? So that's how that would work. And I really didn't mean to do it with an all Villanova situation. It just happens to be that way. But that would be a situation that would work. So, but today we're not talking about that. So we're going to take Mikal off the table today and talk about some other things that could happen. We're talking about trading Julius today. And the reason I brought that up is because I got a very strong feeling looking at the numbers, okay? I'm looking at the Miami Heat. And I'm looking at, they just come out of the finals, right? They did not have Victor Oladipo and they did not have Tyler Hero, okay? They went all the way to the finals without those 2 guys. How did they do it? Max Strus, Caleb Martin, Gabe Vincent. That's how they did it. Those 3 guys, those 3 undrafted players, Max Strus, Caleb Martin, Gabe Vincent, helped the Miami Heat with Bam Adebayo, Kyle Lowry, and Jimmy Butler go to the finals. Miami has to make a move. They're over the luxury tax by about $11 million. Not that bad, especially for a team that's just in the finals. This is what I think Miami's going to do. And I'm going to explain to you why it affects the Knicks. I think Miami's going to get Damian Lillard. Yeah, I think Miami's going to get Damian Lillard. And I think they would give up Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Nikola Jokic, and maybe Victor Oladipo to make the money work. Dame Dollar's going to get about $47 million, $46 million this coming season. You take Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson, that's 45. Miami needs to send out more than they get in. So then you could add to that a Victor Oladipo that gets you done. You can even add Nikola Jokic, a young player that might get you done. But that's that, okay? And Dame Dollar now is a Miami Heat. That sends a strong signal to Jeremy Grant, who can be an unrestricted free agent, who's going to be an unrestricted free agent. Then the Knicks made moves to get Julius Randle any place they can to get Jeremy Grant. You bring Grant in at the 4 spot. Now, I mean, I'm going to be real with you. It's a little bit light to me because say what you want about Julius Randle. When he wants to play basketball, he's way better than Jeremy Grant. But the problem is Jeremy Grant is more consistent. He's a better IQ. He doesn't get flustered under pressure. And Jeremy Grant, would be in the fair again, is twice the defensive player. twice the defensive player that Julius Randle is. He's not the offensive force of Julius Randle. He's not the rebounding force of Julius Randle. But defensively, he's really much head and shoulders better than Julius Randle. IQ-wise, head and shoulders better than Julius Randle. Okay, and of course, he never has any attitude. You're not going to get any attitude from Jeremy Grant. He's really good. He's a good championship piece. What that would do is, of course, you're going to have Brunson as your number one option. And now, Quentin Grimes becomes your number two option. And I'm telling you, laugh if you want. You make Quentin Grimes get 15 shots a game, you're going to see an all-star. Okay? That's what I want. And now you have Grant as a defender, Mitch Robb as a defender, Grimes as a defender. We'd have to hope RJ takes a step forward in this scenario, defensively. Okay? We'd have to hope he takes a step forward. If he does, the Knicks are back into the competing for the Eastern Conference Finals. Okay? And of course, I've mentioned KP. I want to mention this. I heard Ian Begley say, we don't know about KP. We don't know if the Knicks wanted him back. We don't know about because of the new ownership and he's going to be an unrestricted or he's going to have player option. There's too many questions. There's one question Ian didn't answer that I want to pose, and I want you to tell me what you think. Okay? Here's the question. What do the Knicks do if KP's agent reaches out to Leon Rose and says, I want to be a Knick? Just like that. What do the Knicks do? Do you think Leon Rose is going to say, I'm sorry, but we just don't think he's going to fit? Do you think he does that? That's the one question that was not answered. You see, what got me last year, some of y'all know, on the KP to New York train is I got an inkling. Not only did I see the maturity of his game and of him as a man, which I did, but I got the inkling he really wanted to be back in New York. And then I showed y'all, some of y'all saw that interview that was done a couple of weeks ago with KP, and I forgot the guy's name, but it sounded a lot to me that he regrets leaving New York. Put it that way. And so if his agent was to reach out to Leon and say, Leon, KP really wants to come back to New York. My question is, does Leon say, I'm sorry, and hang up the phone? Or does Leon say, okay, let's make this happen? That's the question. And to me, the two players that make obvious sense is Julius Randle, who's a 4 going for a 4, and Emmanuel Quickley, who's from DMV and would love to start for the Washington Wizards in place of Monte Morris, which he would. Okay? That's done deal. Okay? And now the Knicks really are moving to the next level, in my view. The floor opens up. The shooter that KP is from the 4 spot. Then you still got Mitchell Robinson. You still got Isaiah Hartenstein. You still got Obi Toppin, who's going to play more now because he's going to play both back up to KP. He's going to also play the 3. Yeah, love it. So this summer, there's a lot of players available. A lot of players available. And that's what I was telling you. It's like Christmas in July this summer. If you I don't believe in Christmas, but I'm just using it as a metaphor, metaphorically speaking. Okay. But if you were to look at the players that are available as free agents and I'm looking at the forward spot because that's what the Knicks need. They could use a small forward at the wing that plays defense. Okay. So let's just look at the names. Chris Middleton's available. Unrestricted free agent. He's going to be a player option, okay? He's not worth the $40 million he's going to opt out of. So I don't know what he's going to do. But anyway, he's available. Then I mentioned Kristaps Porzingis. Draymond Green, $28 million. That's actually a good price for him, okay? Right now, Golden State is paying the largest luxury tax bill in the NBA. Big, big money. In fact, let's take a look. Let me just tell you. Golden State is paying huge, big money for their luxury tax right now. Let me get the exact number up for you because their luxury tax bill. Ooh, Lord. Okay, so they're $48 million over the luxury tax. Their bill would be $230 million. That's their luxury tax bill. I don't know. I don't know if they bring back Draymond Green. That's their luxury tax bill. I'm sorry. I don't think that happens. So Draymond Green is available. And if I'm the Knicks, I would sign him to a 2-year deal with the second year as a team option. Give him a large contract. They've done that before. Give him a large 2-year deal. Give him, 2 years, 55 million. 2 years, something like that. 56 million. Done. Harrison Barnes. And in that case, we move Julius Randle. I don't care where. You move him. Okay? To make room for Draymond Green. Harrison Barnes. He could play the 3 or the 4. He's unrestricted free agent coming off a $21 million year. You trade Julius Randle, you move Harrison Barnes in there, you play Obi Toppin more minutes, we move forward. We mentioned Jeremy Grant. There's Kyle Kuzma even, who I don't really like. I don't. But he's available. Just coming off $13 million. He ain't getting no $100 million. But, he might get 3 years, 80. You might get that. Again, you move Julius Randle, you put Kyle Kuzma in there. I'm not as sold on that, to be quite honest with you. Then you got cheaper options for the bench if you were to be dumb enough to trade Obi Toppin. You got Torrey Craig, you could bring him in. You got Derrick Jones Jr., you could bring him in. You got Grant Williams, who just come off a $3 million deal. You could bring him in. These are guys you could bring in. I'd rather keep Obi, but, those are you got a lot of options. But to me, you're talking about KP, Draymond Green, Harrison Barnes, Jeremy Grant. Those are your 4 guys. Unrestricted free agents. Okay? And that's not even dealing with teams like Atlanta that has to get rid of salary because they suck this year and they're over their luxury tax. I mean, it's bad enough, at least if you're over the luxury tax, right? You're over the luxury tax, but you're Golden State. You made a run in the playoffs. You're 4-time champions. You're 4-time champions. Okay? So, oh, wait, you don't want to pay 200. 235 is your salary, and then 230 more. That's almost 500 million. No, they dropping salary. I'm gonna tell you right now, Golden State's dropping salary. There's no doubt about that. But that's cool. Or the Lakers. They're gonna, and the Lakers are in good shape. You watch after July 1st, you're gonna see a whole bunch of salary clear off them, and they're gonna be re-signing people again, and they'll be back. Okay, Milwaukee won a chip a couple years ago. Dallas is over the cap too, over the luxury tax cap, and they got to see what they're gonna do with Kyrie and Luka. I don't know what they're gonna do, but that's their business. But what I'm saying is, it opens up a lot of opportunities. Okay, a lot of opportunities because teams got to trim this salary, man. They got to trim this salary. Okay, so and avoid paying heavy tax. The Knicks are in good shape. They $10 million over, but like I said, once Derrick Rose's salary goes, they under. Okay, so we good. The Don and them doing great. So what I'm saying is, though, there's a lot of opportunity out here. Lots. And if you were, to me, aside from Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby, take it. Okay, so RJ Barrett is the best fit in a trade for those 2 guys. Okay, because the position he plays, his age, where they are, and all that. But everybody else, anybody else I just named, KP, Jeremy Grant, we talked about Harrison Barnes. Your best move is Julius. Okay? I wish they would. I really wish they would. Shoot. I wish they would. We're going to see what happens, though. But I'm telling you, the Knicks have tremendous opportunity this summer. Tremendous opportunity to get better. Okay? Y'all know I'm favoring the KP deal. Aside from McCall is, some of y'all say, like somebody said to me, why, since you're looking at players that are more than likely unavailable, which you're always railing against, which I am, why don't you look at SGA? Okay, let's figure this math out. There's about $60 million left to pay Mikal Bridges. Okay? There's about $140 million left to pay SGA. 140 million, 60 million. Which one is more value? Okay? That's how we look at these things. We talk about value. And there's always, some of y'all think the exception is the rule, and I keep trying to explain, the exception is the exception to the rule. McCall is the only exception of a guy that's unavailable that I would make a phone call about. He's the only one, okay? Because of his perfect fit with the Knicks. Okay, and what we can get So if you moved IQ and RJ and 2 number ones or 3 number one, whatever, and you got McCall back, and then you signed a DiVincenzo, which you could, to your mid-level exception, 12 million, you're good. Okay, you're good. Or you can bring in Torrey Craig. You're good. Okay, and you did it, and you're still controlling your money, and you're better. See, so value and fit is why you look at things. So some of y'all can't get that. Like I said, 10% of you are whoo, but it's okay. Comes with every crowd. It's New York, right? Anyway, that's what I'm talking about, and we're going to see this in a little more than a week. In a little more than a week. Okay, I'm not worried about the draft this year for the Knicks. The Knicks get a draft pick, they don't get a draft pick, whatever. I don't worry about the draft. The Knicks are not either. That's why they went and got Josh Hart. Josh Hart is more valuable to the Knicks than any pick they could get this year. Okay, IQ, RJ, Obi are more valuable to any team than any pick that's out there this year. Okay, because all your players, some of you talk about Scoot Henderson. Scoot Henderson is going to be a great player in 3 years. In 3 years. He doesn't shoot well enough on the NBA level to be a great player in his rookie year. And he definitely don't know NBA defense yet. He wants to learn, and he's going to. He got the talent now. But you're talking about 2 or 3 seasons down the line versus guys that have been proven, that are young, that are hungry, and ready to help you win today. Okay? So, yeah, there's that. Anyway, you all enjoy your Wednesday. We'll talk soon. Shalom.